Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 8th day of BrandMAS. And on the 8th day of BrandMAS, my true self gave to me the mindset to know the imposter isn't me. My name's Lauren, and I'm a business coach specialising in mindset mastery in order to help you achieve the health, wealth, happiness, and success that you deserve. I know that so many of us suffer with imposter syndrome and limiting beliefs, because that's what imposter syndrome is. It's a limiting belief that makes you feel that you're a fraud, that you don't belong. And it can manifest in different ways to show, so you end up going, I can't do it, and I'm not going to put myself out there into the world. And, as an entrepreneur, you need to be selling yourself. You need to be putting yourself out there authentically. And so rather than trying to fight that, removing the imposter syndrome, removing the limiting beliefs is really, really key. And I'm going to share with you my 5 top tips to remove imposter syndrome. Number 1 is daily affirmations. You could use something like, I am not a fraud. Really, really powerful. Looking in the mirror, I am not a fraud. Say it out loud to yourself 5 times every morning. Might feel a little bit weird at first, but it'll become more and more real. It will become your reality. And that's why affirmations are so important. Tip number 2 would be to prioritize sleep. Often people who suffer with imposter syndrome take on more and more responsibilities. They find it very difficult to say no. They don't prioritise anything but work. And so actually they suffer because overwork leads to overwhelm, which leads to physical and mental health issues. Prioritising sleep, so important. Tip number 3 is to practice self-compassion, to acknowledge the inner critic, even thank your inner critic, and then ask yourself, what would a true and good friend say to me in this moment? Would they say, you're doing a great job? Would they say, it's not possible to know everything? Would they say, you deserve to be in this space? And choose to listen to that voice, the true friend, over your inner critic. The 4th tip I've got is to journal. Write things down. Get them out on paper. And journaling questions like, why did I start my business, can be really, really powerful in overcoming imposter syndrome, because it brings you back to where the real motivator is. So if you do suffer from taking on more work and not being able to say no and not having the balance that you actually set out to have in the first place, journaling it can bring it back. And just whatever it is, just get it all out there. Get it all out on paper. Really, really powerful. And the final top tip, the 5th tip, is one of my favourite things to do, is to meditate. When we meditate, we slow our brain down and we go into alpha frequency, which is actually when we have our best ideas. It's when we're actually at our most creative. So it can be a really, really useful tool in order to move you forward. But it also allows you to stop, to reflect. And while you meditate, and there are some really good guided meditations on this as well, while you meditate, you get to know your unconscious mind. Your unconscious mind is the place where all those beliefs, even the limiting ones of the imposter syndrome, where they're held. And so by getting to know your unconscious mind, you improve the communication. And by improving the communication, you are able to make changes to those beliefs. Very, very powerful. So those are my 5 top tips, very quickly, to remove imposter syndrome. Finally, you are not a fraud. You do deserve to be here. You're doing an amazing job. I hope you've all had a very, very lovely Christmas and a lovely new year. Keep being you, keep showing up, and enjoy it. Take care.